Alright, fellas, we are live. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Tacho here, of course. Alright, we got Ocean's Gray Waves in the chat, Cosmic Shadow Wolf, Maxi, and Hanako-chan. Alright, so basically, I wanted to separate the unit reviews from the actual, like, arena runs and arena assault and stuff like that that we normally do. So before, I was doing everything in one in a live stream, and I feel like things were getting a little too chaotic there, where we were just jumping back and forth between the unit reviews and then the arena runs and such. So hopefully this is going to streamline things a lot better, where I separate them into two separate streams so things are a little easier. Okay, so we have the chat right on the side of my Discord channel here. Now, if you would like to submit a unit for me to review for the next time we do a live stream like this, then all you have to do is join my Discord server. There's going to be a link to that in the description of this video. And just go ahead and post your unit in unit reviews, and either me or one of the mods is going to pin it. And then we'll be able to go ahead and go for the unit reviews. Now, if we scroll all the way down, I'm going to be starting with the bottom ones first, because these guys have been waiting quite some time. Like, this one was posted on the 10th of this month, and it's already the 24th. So this guy's been waiting for 2 weeks for me to review his units. So what I'm going to want to do is just get all of this done before, like, things start getting flooded and we are way behind schedule. Alright, already there's people posting units for me to review right now, but we're not going to get to those at this moment. So let me just see if there's a way I can like just pause the chat for a moment so we can do the unit reviews and then come back to, like, the ones that are getting posted right now. Alright, I don't know if that's the case. Well, I guess it doesn't even matter. So let's just get right into it, and we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish all of them right now, because there are quite a few people that want me to do unit reviews. But we're going to start things off with our boy Hunty over here. And he says, "Ayo, Tacho, what do you think of my Fury Despo LA Roy?" Alright, so Lovabond's Roy, of course, this is one of the rarer units that you tend to see built up, because he was a seasonal locked unit, and not too many people really went for the summons on him. He's not like a meta-defining unit or anything of that nature. But our boy Hunty over here, he's got the Candle Wax Bow with the Speed Refine. We have Reposition, Moonbow, Fury 4, Desperation 3, Joint Hone Attack, and Brazen Attack and Defense. Wow. Look at those stats, man. Jeez. Okay, this Roy has 62 attack, and then 39 and 42 defense and res. That is insanely tanky right there. Of course, having Candle Wax Bow and Fury 4 is typically going to do something like that. So he's getting like +7 to all stats with those two skills. And then he's got Desperation, so when he's low on health, he can just hit twice in a row. Pretty good stuff. I like the concept going on here. Now, you know, I feel like he's not really fast enough to make use of Desperation here. Like, maybe with Joint Drive Speed, that might work a little bit better. Instead of Joint Hone Attack, like Joint Drive Speed might give him a bit more of a speed push. Because you still need to have a lot of speed for Desperation to work out. And 33 speed, I'm not sure if that's really going to cut it. But what you could actually do is run like lull speed and defense or run lull attack and defense. And I think that would definitely do this guy a lot more favors. Because look at his bulk, like 39, 42 defense and res, that's just insane. So you probably are going to want to have a lull skill here. Like lull attack and defense, like I said, is going to make it harder for the foes to hurt this guy. And then he is going to just dominate them with his 62 attack and the lull defense effect. So that's probably all I would suggest here. And maybe instead of Joint Hone Attack, go for Joint Drive Attack. And I feel like that's probably it. He's just going to be making use of his Titanic defenses there and his insane attack. Otherwise, though, really nice build and really awesome unit. Alright, so that was Hunty. I'm not going to unpin the posts as I do them. Just as soon as the live stream is over, I'll unpin all of the units that we've gotten to, and then we'll come back next time and we'll review the rest of the units. Alright, next up we've got Dat Boy 559 over here. So he says, here's my Legendary Alm. I've been wanting him since release, and I finally got him on Mila's banner. Any advice you could give me on the build would be great. Alright, so our boy over here has a +1 on Legendary Alm with plus attack as the Ivies. Now, of course, what you're going to want on this guy in particular is plus speed, because he has the super boon there, and Flashing Blade 4, that's very nice. That is pretty much the A-slot skill I would recommend for him, because in one hit, he's just going to ramp right into Lunar Flash and be ready to go. So I think that's probably the way to go for him. We have Lull Speed and Defense in the B slot, Rouse Speed and Defense in the C slot, and then Swift Sparrow 2, and of course Reposition and Lunar Flash. So pretty much nothing from his base kit was kept here. I believe he came with Odd Attack Wave or Even Attack Wave, one of the Attack Wave skills for his C slot. And then he had Null Follow-Up, of course, which is really good on him, especially in Arena mode. Because if he's got Null Follow-Up, then he's free to just eat through any Bold Fighter effects or Vengeful Fighter effects that the foes have to get a guaranteed follow-up or do negate your own follow-up, like if they have Wary Fighter or something. So no follow-up on this guy in Arena is, in particular, really good for him. But if you're going to run Flashing Blade 4, I think Desperation might be the best option, because that way he's going to hit once with Flashing Blade 4, ramp right into Lunar Flash, and then hit them twice with Desperation and go for the special. So I think you want Desperation if you're going to run Flashing Blade 4 on him. And for the C skill, you probably want like Joint Drive Attack or Joint Drive Speed. I guess you could use Rouse Speed and Defense, but the thing is, like, as long as you have other units on the team that can provide like stat bonuses, either with tactic skills or wave skills or pretty much just whatever skills you like to run to raise stats, you don't actually need to run the stat boosting skill on him. So that's just one option there. I like, if I'm going to run a unit to just get all the KOs, I want them to just completely focus on dealing damage, and then I'll have someone else support and provide stat bonuses. So that's probably the only thing I would say here. Either go for Desperation if you're going to run him in other modes, or go for Null Follow-Up if you're going to run him in Arena. And that pretty much is all there needs to be done for this guy. Like, he just dominates. He's really good. So, awesome unit there, of course. Alright, Jorge Yorai in the chat is saying, please zoom the image. Okay, let me see if I can do something about that. Alright, if I zoom the image, is that also going to zoom the pictures? Hold on, let me just double check that. Alright, so we're up to this Libra. No, okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to have to open the units up in a separate tab, and we'll look at them over there. Alright, so I apologize if the first two units we reviewed were a little small. I'm going to try to get the units to look a lot bigger on this one. Yeah, so if we look at them from over here, they are going to be full size, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, so next up we've got Aura TV with his Libra. And he's saying, actually now I'm curious of what y'all think of my Libra. Alright, so let's take a look at it. Alright, so we got the +10 Libra with +8 flowers. He's got S-rank Summoner support and S-rank Ally support there. So, okay. 56 HP, that's pretty monstrous actually. 57 attack, 46 speed, 35 defense, and 36 res. So this guy, he's pretty tanky with that. And he's got the Slaying Axe Plus with the Speed Refine, Rally Up Res. He's got Aether's Attack and Speed Push 4, Mystic Boost 3, and Times Pulse 3, and Flashing Blade 3. Okay, so he's going to be ramping into Aether with Flashing Blade. He's got Mystic Boost to heal up pretty much any damage he takes from the push skill. And then Times Pulse, so he gets the -1 special trigger anytime Aether is fully charged. So, pretty good stuff. I mean, Aether is going to start with a 4-hit cooldown with Slaying Axe, and then it's going to be dropped to a 3-hit with Times Pulse. And then he hits the foes once with Flashing Blade. He ramps up to a 1-hit cooldown, and then the foes counterattack, and Aether is fully charged. And his second hit is going to be Aether. So, pretty nice synergy there with how he's ramping into the special and all of that. So I like it there for sure. And with attack and speed push 4, this guy is going to have, what, 53 speed unbuffed? Like, that's definitely going to be way more than enough to get the doubles. And he's at, what, 64 attack? Jeez. Oh, man, this Libra is going to be wrecking shop left and right, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing that I could suggest here, I don't think, because all of this is such a tight build where all the skills are doing something relevant, where just changing one thing is probably not going to be good for the build. Like, Mystic Boost is necessary so he doesn't lose any from attack and speed push. Times Pulse is necessary so he can combo into Aether with Flashing Blade on the first initiation. So yeah, like, there's really nothing to change on this build. It's just that tightly built. So, like, in concept, it's going to work fine, and he's going to be able to player phase very well with Aether. So, I don't really think there's anything I can suggest. I mean, of course, if I suggested anything, it would be for a different build. You'd have to change a lot more than, like, 1 or 2 things if I made comments here. But I do like this build. It's very nice, and it looks like all the skills mesh well together. So, that's pretty much all you want when you're making a build. Very awesome Libra there. So, shoutouts, of course, to Aura TV for that one. Alright, next up, we've got our boy Niter over here. Niter is one of the more active members on the chat. Alright, so he's got his legendary Lucina over here with plus 10 merges and plus 10 flowers. Also, S-rank summoner support. Alright, we got DXRex77 in the chat saying, "Hey Tacho, big fan. Is it too late to get my unit reviewed?" Nah, man, just go ahead and post it right on my Discord server in the unit reviews section, and it's going to get pinned. So, if I don't get to all the units today, we are, of course, going to be doing these unit reviews on a weekly basis. So, if I don't get to it today, I will definitely get to it next time. So, don't worry about that. Alright, Hanako-chan is saying, "I'd change B to lull attack and speed." I'm assuming he meant on the Libra that we looked at just before this. So, that's probably not too bad of an idea either, because, I mean, Aether on the Libra from before would recover HP, even if you're losing it from attack and speed push, of course. So, I guess you don't need Mystic Boost that much on that build, but I do like it anyway, because the Mystic Boost plus push skill combo that they gave us out on the Duo Micaiah, I really like it on her. So, I definitely see the value of having that. Also, it wrecks Wrathful Staff, so Mystic Boost is really underrated, to be honest. Alright, so back to this Lucina over here. This is our boy Niter's Lucina, of course. Alright, so Future Vision, of course, one of the best assists in the game. It's just really good. Being able to use swap and then move again is so crazy. Alright, we got Luna, Sturdy Impact, Lull Speed and Defense, Joint Hone Speed, and Flashing Blade 3. Really solid build here. So she's going to hit the foes. Sturdy Impact is going to negate their follow-up. Flashing Blade is going to give her -2 cooldown for Luna. And then they hit the foe. The foe is going to hit her once from the counterattack. And then they can't attack her back any more than that because of Sturdy Impact. And her next attack is going to be a Luna to the face. So very nice synergy there with how he is ramping into Luna. Lull Speed and Defense, also very nice. Now, you could also go for Lull Attack and Defense, I think, if you wanted to just raise her bulk through the roof and make sure she survives the counter hit. And they only had one chance to finish her off with Sturdy Impact, so it's going to be pretty hard for foes to actually get the one-shot on this Lucina unless they have shenanigans of their own going on where they already have a special ready or something. But otherwise, like, instead of Joint Hone Speed, you'd probably be better off with Joint Drive Attack or Joint Drive Speed. Those Joint Drive skills are so incredibly stacked. Like, they're definitely, on any unit, it doesn't even matter who we're talking about, the Joint Drive skills are always going to be optimal. Because they help your unit and they help your bench too, so it's always going to come into play for everybody. And in the ideal world, if everyone on your team had Joint Drive Attack, that's just plus 16 attack for everybody. So that is really stacked if you had that. Okay, but otherwise, like, I don't really have too much else to comment on with this Lucina build. This looks pretty good. The only thing I would say is go for a Joint Drive skill, but otherwise, very strong Lucina, of course. All right. Oh, the mods are already busy at work. Way to go, guys. They're already unpinning all of the units that I've been reviewing. So, shoutouts, of course. I'm not sure which one of the mods is on it, but it's probably all 3 of them. And right here, shoutouts, of course, to the 4 riders of Dayan that we have modding for me over here. All right, next unit we're going to take a look at is Ben the Butter King's Nowi. All right, what do you guys think of my Nowi? She was my first ever serious build. All right, let's take a look. A lot of people built Nowi and Fa and Adult Tiki early on because once Lightning Breath got the refine, it was a really strong weapon. So this is a unit that a lot of people were building up. All right, so plus 10 Nowi with plus 10 flowers. Oh, by the way, they're also overdue for a refine, both Nowi and Fa. Adult Tiki got her refine, but, I mean, what about the other 2 dragons, right? I can't wait to see some refines for Fa and Nowi. Hopefully they get good ones. All right, but we have the defense refine on Lightning Breath here. Rally attack and defense. We got Aether, Sturdy Stance 3, Quick Repost 3, Joint Hone Speed 2, or Joint Hone Speed. I don't know why I tacked the 2 on to the end of that. And Sturdy Stance 2. Okay, Sturdy Stance 3, that means Spring Idun had to die for this Nowi. Oh man, RIP. Well, the nice thing, of course, about Spring Idun is that her duo skill could have supported this Nowi as well. So, it's not just her A-slot skill that would have been helpful here. Man, I really regret not summoning for that duo Idun. She's just such a good unit. And that duo skill is one of the best, especially for baiting. So, like, that is the only banner up to this point that I regret not summoning on. But, alas, this Nowi is definitely going to benefit from that. I really like having the level 3 and level 4 stance skills on the dragons because they already have built-in distant counter with Lightning Breath. So with the stat bonuses they get from these stances and then the inflicted guard effect, they're going to be supremely good at tanking hits. Alright, now quick repost in the B slot. I feel like you may get a little more mileage out of something else in the B slot, and then you run quick repost as the Sacred Seal instead. Because there's a lot of things you could get in the B slot that would just have way more value than quick repost itself. Like Null Sea Disrupt if you want to counterattack the staffs and the fire sweeps. Or you could go with Lull Attack and Res. Now, Lull Attack and Res is arguably the best choice for these Dragon Bait units because they target Res all the time against melee. But it's a little bit wonky against range because they do adaptive damage and you're never going to know if you're going to hit the foe's defense or res against range. So, Lull Attack and Res, it's great on these dragons, but it does get a little bit wonky sometimes. So, I mean, you could also go a little more consistent and use, like, Lull Attack and Speed or something like that. But definitely the Res is nice so you can deal more damage in the melee matchups. Alright, Joint Hone Speed, wow. These Joint Hone skills have been super popular today, and I know they came out way before the joint drives, but the joint drives are just the way to go now. It's like, it's really insane. But also, this Nowi, because she's a bait unit, she has the option to go for Pulse Smoke if you wanted to shut down infantry pulse setups. So I think that could be another option. And, like, other than that, though, I don't really think it's either, like, joint drive attack or Pulse Smoke. Maybe Panic Smoke, even, if you wanted to hurt the foes that are relying on buffs. Or Attack Smoke, that's a little bit more budget if you just want to use Attack Smoke to drop the attacks of the foes while she's baiting an entire army by herself. So yeah, like pretty much that's all I would consider for this Nowi. Oh, also in the A-slot, Bonus Doubler could be an option. I don't really know if I like Bonus Doubler too much though, especially not for Aether Raids because debuffs are just way too common in that mode. And Bonus Doubler, it's real easy to flip the buffs on you in Aether Raids, so Bonus Doubler may not be all that consistent there. But it's definitely going to work out just fine in other map modes like Arena Assault and Abyssal maps and Chain Challenges and such like that. So Bonus Doubler could be cool. Oh, Distant Defense 4, that's also a nice option here. So yeah, actually Distant Defense 4 is so stacked on built-in distant counter units because you just shut down Blade Tomes completely. They cannot touch her. And just range in general, like suffering the minus or gaining the +8 to defense and res and then negating any of their hard buffs. That is so insane. Like, Distant Defense 4 is straight up one of the best ace skills if the unit already has built-in distant counter. So that is why I gave it to my Ike, of course. Alright, but otherwise, I mean, I pretty much said everything I had to say about this Nowi. You may want to use Quick Repost in the seal slot and then run a different beast skill there. Maybe go for a Joint Drive skill or Pulse Smoke, and then alternate options for the ace slot are like Distant Defense 4 or maybe Bonus Doubler, but I wouldn't really put too much value in Bonus Doubler for Aether Raids. Alright, so next up we got Bailiff with his +3 Valentine Conrad. Okay, this guy is pretty cool. Now, not too many people actually built this guy up, but he was summonable as a 4-star, and I think he was actually the first of the 4-star demotes we got on the seasonal banners. So this guy started the trend of that. Alright, so we got the Carrot Cudgel Plus with the defense refine. We got Reposition and Bonfire, Fortress Defense and Res 3, Quick Repost 3, Attack Ploy 3, and Renewal 3. Okay, wow, look at that. 44 defense and 42 res for a cavalry unit. That's actually pretty stacked, to be honest. Now, he's not getting distant counter, though, which means he's not really going to make use of his res too often. I guess in the melee matchups with dragon types, but I mean, when your defense and res are both above 40, that's getting to the territory where having distant counter actually is a lot of value there. Alright, Carrot Cudgel Plus, that's probably the way to go for the weapon. This guy is a sword type, right? So, yeah, I don't really think there's too many other options. Maybe... Oh, you could also go for Obero's sword from the waifu Obero that we got. I forgot what her sword was called, but it's basically the sword version of Huge Fan that we got on that Bride Hinata. So it comes with the built-in breath effect, right? And normally these horse units can't inherit the breath effect, so having that on the weapon is definitely very nice, especially if you can't support him with Brave Lucina for whatever reason. And you guys know I like to suggest Brave Lucina as a support partner any chance I get, especially for these melee type units. But if that's not an option, then the sword we got from that waifu Obero could be a nice call. I like running those skills and Huge Fan as well on the flyers and the horses, because they're not allowed to inherit the breath skills normally. So if you just get it on the weapon, it's really cool. Okay, otherwise, these bonfires are really going to hurt. With 44 defense, that's just 22 free damage from bonfire. Pretty nasty stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I don't really have too much to comment on for this build, except if he changes Fortress Defense and Res for distant counter, he's going to lose 6 defense and res, and then that drops him to 38 defense and then 36 res, which is definitely way lower than it would have been with Fortress Defense and Res. But I guess you could also switch out the seal for something that would give him defense and res, like maybe Distant Defense 3 or Close Defense 3 or something like that. Maybe a stance skill even, like Mirror Stance or Steady Stance or something of that nature. Yeah, now Quick Repost, that's fine in the B slot for cavalry. I guess you could go for like lull attack and defense. That would be nice too. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's probably the way to go. Honestly, yeah, you could go for distant counter in the A slot and then lull attack and defense in the B slot. Probably attack smoke for the C skill instead of attack ploy, because attack smoke is going to target a wider amount of foes when you get the bait. And then for the seal, you either go for distant defense 3 or mirror stance 2 or steady stance 2. And then you go for, what you call it? Or quick repost in the seal slot to get the double attacks. So yeah, that's probably what I would do here. Just to make the build run a little bit more like well-oiled. With distant counter, he can counter anybody. Lull attack and defense, of course, to just raise his bulk. Attack smoke 3, and then either quick repost or a stat boosting seal for baiting there. And then I think this guy is going to do just fine. So pretty awesome Conrad there. Alright, next up we got No. I like that name. With a Summer Cordelia. Oh man, this Cordelia art is pretty bae. Alright, she ain't got nothing on Leg Jarn though. The Summer Leg Jarn is still my favorite in terms of who's the best looking bikini unit. Let me know in the chat, guys, actually, which bikini unit do you think looks the best? Or also, like, swim trunks unit, because there may be some ladies out there in the chat. Which one is your favorite and why? And I gotta go with the Lake Jarn, actually. Alright, so +1 on Summer Cordelia. Now, I'm not sure if this guy got the free copy yet from the compile shop, but that would just be another merge for him, so that could be pretty cool. Alright, we got the plus attack Ivies, Slaying Lance plus, Reposition, Glimmer, Swift Sparrow 3, Desperation 3, Defense Smoke 3, and Brazen Attack and Speed 3. Okay, so it's a danger build here where she wants to get low on health and then hit the foes twice in a row with Desperation. Pretty solid stuff, of course. Now, I think instead of Glimmer, you may want to go with Moonbow or something like that. Because 50 attack, that's not like the craziest. And she's probably going to deal some more damage if she has a skill to calculate damage based on the foe's stats. So maybe Moonbow or possibly even Ruptured Sky if you can get that. Because then you're going to deal extra damage, of course, to beast types and dragons as well. So yeah, maybe Ruptured Sky is the way to go. And Slaying Lance is going to bring Ruptured Sky down to a 1-hit. And then with Desperation active, you can hit him twice in a row and just go for an immediate Ruptured Sky. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go for this one. And if you've got Dancer support, she's going to be crushing people with that defense smoke. Yeah, I like this build a lot. Pretty good stuff. Only thing I would change is the special pretty much to either Moonbow or Ruptured Sky there. You could also go for Attack and Speed Push 4 instead of Swift Sparrow if you want to get some more chip damage and get to Desperation and Brazen Attack and Speed a little bit faster. But the chip damage is going to start getting worse and worse the less HP you've got. And then once you get below 25%, she's not going to be able to get the stat bonuses from that skill anyway. So Swift Sparrow is perfectly fine. Don't even bother changing it if you don't want to. Alright, pretty awesome Cordelia there. Alright, we got Ren Kurisu Tomokawa with his Morgan M here. Oh man, this guy, he is in dire need of a refine. Now, it's really unfortunate that his sister got a refine and he didn't. They did our boy Kana really dirty like this too, where the female Kana got the refine and then the male one didn't. The waifu bias in Fire Emblem Heroes is just way too much. Like, we need some love for the guys over here. Alright, hopefully this guy gets a refine because his perf weapon, Grima's Truth, really could use it. Alright, so he's at +5 with plus attack as the Ivies. Alright, Grima's Truth, of course, Reposition, Dragon Fang, Life and Death 3, Escape Route 3, Spur Defense and Res 2, and Initiate Seal Res 1. Okay, I'm not really sure why he needs that seal. Yeah, there's like no point in using that seal, especially if you're going to go with Life and Death. Like, he's not going to have good defense and res anyway, so I wouldn't even bother with that. I would probably go for like Swift Sparrow instead. Now, Escape Route could be pretty clutch if he gets low on health and then he can start jumping to people. What would I actually consider though? Like, how are you going to get low on HP with this? Because 20 defense with 40 health, this guy, he's going to die in like one hit. Nowadays, units come built right out of the box with over 60 attack when everything is said and done. That's just going to be a one-shot on this poor Morgan M. So I'm not sure if I want to like recommend Life and Death and Escape Route here. So what you could probably do, instead of Life and Death, maybe like Fury 3 or Fury 4. If you can get your hands on one of those. That's going to be +9 defense and res here. So he'd be at 29 defense and then 33 res. That's definitely a lot more solid. Yeah, Life and Death is just tanking his defenses way too much. And he's got too low HP for that to really work out. Or you could also go for Sturdy Impact. And that would give him +10 defense and then negate the foe's follow-up. So he's going to have a way better chance to live if you go for that. And then at that point, Escape Route starts looking a lot more plausible, and he's probably going to be able to see that come into play. I mean, alternatively, though, you could also go for something else, like maybe lull attack and res, or lull attack and speed, or something like that. You could also go for null follow-up on him, like he's got some options in the B slot. It just depends on what you want to do. Like, if you want to keep Escape Route, then I would say probably go for Fury 4 or Sturdy Impact. But if you would like to just focus him more on dealing damage, then Lull Attack and Res or Lull Attack and Speed is probably going to be your best bet. And then for the C slot, of course, I'm going to sound like a broken record throughout this stream with the joint drive skill recommendations, but they're just the way to go, man. There's not much else to say. And then for the seal, definitely go for like Swift Sparrow or a Brazen combo. Like Brazen Attack and Speed would be nice. And I think that's pretty much it. Instead of Dragon Fang, also, you may want something else as a special. Something a little faster, like, I don't know, let's say, like, maybe Luna or Ruptured Sky or something like that. And, yeah, I think that would work a little bit better. This guy, he is a pretty easy plus 10 project, because you can summon him as a 3 or a 4 star, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be that hard to get copies of him. Maybe go for plus speed as the Ivies too. Like, if you still have 5 more copies before you go for the plus 10. So if you manage to pull plus speed, I think I would probably recommend changing his Ivies to that. But yeah, like, that's pretty much everything to say about this one. Grima's Truth just needs a refine really bad. It's like a worse version of Pesh Cats and Veronica's staff, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce her staff, but you guys know what it does. So, yeah, you probably just want to wait for a refine on this guy. Alright, next up, we got Luke Rems with another Nowi build. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got here. Alright, a 40 plus 10 Nowi. Only plus 9 flowers. Oh, man. You got to get that last flower on her. Shouldn't be too hard. There's, like, so many free infantry units they've been giving out, and then you just go into the... What is it called again? The challenge that you do to win the flowers? Like Heroic Ordeals? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, make sure you get all of those done, by the way, because the flowers you get from there are going to be really helpful for you. Alright, so we got Lightning Breath with the Speed Refine, plus Defense as the Ivies. Rally Speed and Defense plus. We got Soul, Attack and Speed Push 4, Lull Attack and Res, Threaten Attack and Res 3, and HP and Speed 2. Very interesting stuff here. Okay, Speed or HP and Speed 2. I'm not sure if that's relevant, actually. Yeah, because he has the Wind Blessing. I was going to say, if he had the Light Blessing or the Astra Blessing, then I could kind of see it, because then you could possibly get enough HP with double Mythic Heroes to get over the Panic Manor. When the Panic Manor is fully upgraded, that thing hits you at a target of 70 health, which is just outrageous. So, I could have kind of seen the use for this seal if that was going to be the case, but with the Wind Seal, or with the Wind Blessing, I don't know about that. So, maybe change the seal to something else, like, I don't know, maybe Distant Defense 3 or Mirror Stance or something like that. Alright, Attack and Speed Push 4, that's very interesting, actually. So, it's a bait build. He's got Lightning Breath to bait, and then Attack and Speed Push is going to raise Attack and Speed. So it's going to be really hard for the foes to double attack this Nowi. And then Lull Attack and Res, of course, is going to allow her to tank a lot better. Yeah, I think what you want on this build, if you're going to keep Attack and Speed Push, you're going to want to keep the... You're going to want to keep her defenses up and her tanking up. So instead of Threaten, Attack, and Res, I think you may want, like, Attack Smoke possibly, so she can just instantly drop the foe's attack by 7 when she gets the first bait. And that's definitely going to help her out to bait a whole bunch of foes in one turn. And then for the seal, you may want Distant Defense 3 or Mirror Stance 2 or something like that, just to raise her defenses a little bit more. And then, yeah, with Attack and Speed Push 4, she actually does have some player phase potential too, so that could be pretty nice. Maybe even like Lull Attack and Speed 2, that could be nice for player phasing and defending. It's going to be your call on all of this. You could possibly even go for the Speed plus Ivies if you wanted, I guess. I mean, that way, it's really going to be likely that she could initiate a double for herself with this build. And I think that could be nice. Even in that case, like, having Attack Smoke would be a little bit better than Threaten, Attack, and Res. Because then you're going to get the -7 debuff on the foes after she initiates a double. And then on the next turn, she's going to tank a lot better. So yeah, you probably want something like that just to get the instant stats and tank better. Otherwise, very interesting is Speedy Nowi. That's not too common that you see something like that, but it could definitely work out. I don't think this is a bad build by any means. Alright, we got our boy G-Man up next. Didn't know which build to go for, so I'm just going to show both. Alright, so we got two different possible Sonya builds. Let's take a look at which skills he's got on each. Okay, so one of them has Glimmer over Blazing Wind, and then the one that has Glimmer has Death Blow 3, while the other one has Heavy Blade. Alright, just at a glance, I can tell you this one is going to deal even more damage than the first. Just having Special Spiral and Heavy Blade, so you can just instantly ramp into Blazing Wind with every attack, is going to be so crazy. Like, Special Spiral with Heavy Blade and then the Blazing Specials is one of the sickest combos you can go for. I run this actually on my Lucina, and it works out like a charm. She just bodies everything. Anytime I run her in Arena Assault, she's like a solo carry in that mode, so I do have a preference for this particular build here. Dark Excalibur is a really nice weapon too, and it gives her, I believe it's -2 special trigger at the start of turn 1. So it's going to be real easy for her to get to Blazing Wind and then just start going ham on the foes with all the special charging she's going to do. Now with Pulse Smoke, I'm not sure if you actually want Pulse Smoke on this build, because you typically want Pulse Smoke on bait units, and instead of Pulse Smoke you could probably go for Panic Smoke. I think that would really hurt the foes more on offense. Or Res Smoke as well, so she can deal some more damage with Dancer support. Yeah, you probably want something like that, and our boy has the really clutch Rally Up Res, so he can jump in and set up a Rally Trap and just go to town. Yeah, this is a really deadly Sonya build. Really awesome stuff here. Not too much to change, actually. Life and Death 4 is what you have to run if you're going to go with a Blazing Special anyway. So yeah, this is the perfect build, pretty much. Just instead of Pulse Smoke, maybe go for Panic Smoke or Res Smoke instead. And I think that's pretty much it for this Sonya. She's going to be deadly. Alright, next up we've got our boy Sweeping with a Roderick over here. Alright, not completely sure what special or S-slot to run on him, but Moonbow Heavy Blade has been working really well for me. Alright, let's take a look at what's going on with this Roderick. Alright, so Steady Lance is a pretty cool refine. It's basically a Fire Sweep Lance with 16 might and then with Darting Blow. So pretty cool stuff. That's exactly what he wants, to just get some speed and go for double attacks. Alright, he's got Swift Sparrow 3, Drag Back, Even Attack Wave, and Heavy Blade. Alright, so Heavy Blade, yeah, with Heavy Blade and Steady Stance, he's going to ramp right into Moonbow and then hit the foes with the Moonbow to the face. You could also go for Ruptured Sky, I guess, if you wanted to just do some more damage to dragons and beasts. But Moonbow should work out just fine. Alright, Even Attack Wave, like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I've never been a fan of these even or odd wave skills. They just, activating every other turn is so inconsistent. I would just rather go for a tactic skill, or even better, because this guy is a horse unit, you're free to run like Hone Cavalry or Fortify Cavalry on him and your other horse allies to just get the buffs that way. So I don't think he wants Even Attack Wave. There's just better options for him. Drag Back is pretty clutch. Maybe go for Lunge instead, actually. Lunge sets up some more possibilities. But I guess, like, if you're not running him in Aether Raids, if you're running him yourself and you're using him for modes like, let's say, Chain Challenges and Abyssal Maps and stuff like that, where you're going to want to dance support him, then I can see the value to drag back in those situations. And then Swift Sparrow 3, of course, very good stuff. Yeah, there's not too much else to say here. Maybe plus speed as the Ivies would be a little bit better. Yeah, just to give him a better chance to go for the double attacks. And maybe instead of drag back, if you wanted to really push his stats up a bit, go for lull attack and speed. Or not even lull attack and speed, because he has a fire sweep weapon. So probably lull speed and defense in that case. So he has a better chance to double and deal more damage. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this Roderick. Those are my recommendations for this guy. Looks pretty solid though, and he got a really nice refine, so shoutouts of course to Roderick for that. Alright, we got Ben the Butter Knight with another unit here. Alright, what do you guys think about my Tiki? Anything I can improve? Alright, let's take a look at this Tiki here. Alright, so adult Tiki at plus 10 with 8 flowers. We got plus attack as the Ivies, very interesting. Alright, Breath of Fog, really nice refine that this Tiki got actually. It's effective against dragons, and then it gives her attack and defense bond within 2 spaces of a sword or dragon ally. And it also has a renewal effect, so it's got a lot of effects on it. It's a pretty good refine. Alright, Rally Speed and Defense, Aether, Fierce Breath, Quick Riposte 3, Joint Drive Attack. Okay, finally, one of our boys has come in the clutch with a Joint Drive skill on their unit. I love to see that. And Fierce Stance 3. Okay, let's see. Alright, with Fierce Breath and Fierce Stance 3, she's going to be really strong. Like, when she's baiting foes, she is going to deal a ton of damage. It's going to be ridiculous, man. And then her weapon is giving her 5 attack as well. Wow. So she gets 4 from Fierce Breath, 6 from Fierce Stance, and then 5 from the weapon. That's plus 15 attack. And then she's already at 62. That's 75, or 77 attack. Jeez. Oh, man, this Tiki is going to be doing some big damage numbers. Really awesome there. And the Breath skill, of course, is going to help her ramp into Aether. Quick Riposte is going to help with that, too. Now, I'm going to say the same thing that I said on one of these previous builds. For these dragon units, you probably want to go for Quick Riposte as the seal instead. Because there's just more things of value you can get in the B slot, like Lull, Attack, and Res, for example. Or also Null Sea Disrupt if you wanted to counterattack the Fire Sweep and Dazzling Staff foes. But for the concept of just stacking her attack really high, I think you probably want to go for Lull, Attack, and Res here. And then run Quick Riposte as the seal instead of Fierce Stance. Fierce Stance is nice, but I think Quick Riposte as the seal would probably be the better way to go. I mean, unless you want to go for like one-shots, if you just want to raise her attack through the roof and try to one-shot the foes. And maybe instead of Fierce Breath, now, this is going to sound a little awkward because... Well, actually, not really, because Tiki is lucky that she has Breath of Fog, and then she's not taking -1 or +1 special trigger to her special attack, like Lightning Breath does for the other dragons. Oh, I totally just missed the fact that he doesn't have Distant Counter on this build. Yeah, you probably want to have Distant Counter on here. I run it on my Tiki, and it's just real important for her to counterattack range with this. So yeah, you're probably going to want to have Distant Counter. Maybe instead of Aether, go for like Noontime. Yeah, Noontime would probably be the way to go because she's going to be super strong when she baits the foes. So yeah, Noontime, Distant Counter, and then Lull, Attack, and Res in the B slot, and Quick Riposte as a seal. I think that's probably a more optimal way to set it up. But very cool concept here with the big attack numbers on Tiki. I like it. Alright, we got Luna up next, or Loon. Any thoughts on my Ellie? Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so Eleonora, it's really rare to see people with the built-up units from the TMS banner, because the TMS banner was not received very well, just because of the crossover status and people not liking that game in particular. I don't personally have a problem with it, but I've never played it, so I can't really comment. Alright, but we got a 40+1 Eleonora with Mirage Longbow. Now, I forget what the condition is for her weapon to activate, but it basically just gives her a fire sweep effect. So it is a very good weapon, of course. Alright, Reposition, Draconic Aura, Life and Death 4, Lull, Speed and Defense, Times Pulse, and Flashing Blade. Oh man, that is pretty nasty. And look at this, 56 speed unbuffed. Jesus. Oh my god, that is so fast. Wow. And then Lull, Speed and Defense, so they can't have hard speed buffs. Oh my god. This is gonna terrorize people. Like, this Eleonora is not to be trifled with. Okay, Draconic Aura, that's a 3-hit special, right? So Times Pulse brings it down to a 2-hit, and then you hit the foes once with Flashing Blade, you ramp into Draconic Aura right away. And then the second hit is going to be a Draconic Aura to the face. Mirage Longbow doing the fire sweep effect makes that real easy to do. Yeah, there's like nothing I can comment on here. This is perfect pretty much. Yeah, like all the skills here need to be exactly what she's running. You could run something else instead of Life and Death 4, like Swift Sparrow, but I mean, it's not even necessary because with the fire sweep effect, it's not like she's going to take a counter hit anyway. But I guess if you didn't want to tank her defense and res, then fire sweep would probably work. Or not fire sweep, Swift Sparrow 3 would probably work a little bit better for that. And she's just going to get back 5 defense and res and be a little bit harder for the foes to KO. But it's not really going to make that big a difference, so don't even worry about it too much. Very good build, though. Very awesome unit there. Alright, we got Omar Yu up next with Resplendent Roy. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. Is there anything I should change about my Resplendent Roy? Let's take a look. Alright, Resplendent Roy with his adorable artwork. I feel like Roy being our boy, they kind of did him a little dirty with this artwork. Now, he looks good, right? I'm not trying to say the art is bad. He doesn't look intimidating at all. Like, compare it to the Awakening DLC artwork where he was the young lion and he actually looked kind of intimidating there. I was hoping he'd get something like that for the Resplendent art. But the Niffle artwork, he looks kind of, I don't know, just less threatening with that. Alright, but we got plus 10, of course, with plus 10 flowers and plus speed ivies. Okay, Binding Blade with the Refine. Fortress Defense and Res. Lull Attack and Speed. Threaten Attack and Speed. And then Sturdy Stance 2. Alright, so he's pretty fast here. You could definitely get away with Close Call or Repel on this guy. 44 speed is pretty solid. And I definitely think he wants Distant Counter. I'm just going to say that right now. Having Distant Counter instead of Fortress Defense and Res, it's going to tank his defense and res a little bit, but being able to counterattack those ranged opponents is definitely going to be really nice on him. He also gets the Bracing Stance effect on his Refine anyway, so that's definitely going to be the way to go, I think. Alright, we have Iceberg as the special. You may want a healing special on him, actually, like possibly Noontime if you're going to support him with Brave Lucina, or Soul if otherwise. Lull Attack and Speed, pretty nice. Maybe go for Lull Attack and Defense instead, so he hits harder. That is the one downside to this guy. His attack is very low. So Lull Attack and Defense would help him just hit a little harder. Or, like I said earlier, Close Call or Repel would be nice. Null Sea Disrupt is an option, too, on all of these infantry bait units. But, I think, honestly, Close Call is probably the way to go, because 44 speed is going to be real easy to see Close Call come into play. And then Threaten Attack and Speed 3, I feel like he may want like something a little bit more instant, like Pulse Smoke or Attack Smoke or something like that. Because it's just going to kick in on the same turn when he gets a counter attack for the first time. And Threaten Attack and Speed, it would be nice if you just threw him up at a bunch of foes and waited one turn out. But I feel like it's going to be a little faster with the smoke skills, so you may want to go for one of those. And then Sturdy Stance as the seal, pretty fine. Yeah, his defense is a little bit lower than Res, so the plus defense is going to help him. But also, Distant Defense 3 is an option too. Or possibly, you could even be a funny guy and run close or quick riposte in the seal as well. So doubling up on quick riposte as the weapon and the seal is just going to give a big middle finger to Sturdy Impact and all of those skills that would negate your follow-up. So that could totally be an option on this guy. Mainly for Aether Raids though, like if you're going to run him in other modes like Arena and Arena Assault, I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's really only Aether Raids where having double quick riposte is going to come in clutch. But yeah, pretty good build here and pretty awesome unit. Roy is definitely one of the better Resplendent alts that we got. So definitely shoutouts to Insys for giving us a really awesome unit there. Alright, we got Jethro Bodine up next. Support Soth Merge Project. Mass buff and debuff simultaneously is kinda insane. Alright, let's take a look at this Soth. Okay, so 40 plus 3 with plus speed as the Ivies. Oh man, this guy has 18 defense and 17 res, jeez. he's going to be dying in, like, one hit. He's going to get hit, like... He's going to get ripped in half like a piece of paper, pretty much. Alright, but he's got Pesh Cats, Rally Attack, Growing Wind, Life and Death 3, Water Sweep 3, Spur Attack and Speed 2, and Savage Blow 2. Alright, well, of course, you're going to want to have Life and Death if he's going to keep the Wind special. Now, instead of Growing Wind, I think you want Blazing Wind or any of the Blazing skills. It depends on which one of the radius of effects you like the most, and I personally like the Wind one the most because it just hits all of the adjacent allies to the target. Which one is the one that hits the ones diagonally? I think that one is Blazing Light. I could be wrong about that, but that one also has a pretty nice radius of effect, so that could be an option. But yeah, the Blazing ones are a little bit better because they, instead of having a bigger radius of effect, they have a little bit more damage with 1.5 times to your attack. So those are a little bit better. Alright, Water Sweep, so he can attack dragons and mages without getting counter hit. I'm not really sure if you want that, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, because he's physical, right? This guy has a lot of attack. And typically, mages don't really have the best of defense. So, Wind Sweep is a little bit better, so he can attack like physical units that would typically have more defense and have a better chance surviving him. So, Wind Sweep is probably a better call here. Alright, Spur Attack and Speed. I've said it like 100 times on this stream already, but you definitely want to go for a Joint Drive skill. And Savage Blow 2, I guess that's fine if he's going to just go for some chip damage for free. But you could also go for Swift Sparrow or Death Blow or something like that. The only downside is that it's not going to calculate towards your Blazing special there, so maybe actually just go for Attack Up 3, like that would calculate towards it and just give you some damage. Hardy Bearing is an option too if you want to not get hit by Vantage, so all just a couple of things you could consider here. But otherwise, I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm not really like too sold on this build because his defense and res are a little bit too low, and I'm not really sure if he's gonna have a good chance of surviving a counter hit if he gets hit. So maybe think about it a little bit more. Like Life and Death 3, it's really nice with the Blazing specials, but it just totally tanks his defense and res. So you might even be better off with Sturdy Impact on this guy just to give him some more defense and negate the foe's follow-up attack. I think that could be a little bit more solid. Yeah, and then with Sturdy Impact, Water Sweep makes a little more sense because, like I said just now, the physical units that have more defense typically are going to have a good chance to survive him. But with Sturdy Impact, you're going to negate their follow-up attack, and then they're not going to be able to kill him, so then he gets 2 hits on them. And then the mages and the dragon types that Sturdy Impact is not going to come into play against, he has Water Sweep to fall back on, so yeah, that's probably a little bit better for this guy. Just a couple of things to consider there. Alright, we got Big Black Bankai up next. Shoutouts to Bleach, of course. Bleach is supposedly coming back. Gonna be interesting to see how the anime plays out with that. Alright, Lute's boobs aren't even that big. Just take my money and sis. Oh, man. Alright, well, flat is justice, apparently. Now, your boy likes them a little bit thick, right? So, I guess I kind of got to agree with our boy over here, but, I mean, don't ever, like, body shame or anything like that. Every girl has some nice assets going on, right? So, you don't have to pick and choose. There's no reason to be choosy. Alright, so, Prodigy Lute. Plus 10 with plus 10 flowers. Pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, Lute is a really hard unit to get, especially now since she got removed from the standard summoning pool, I believe. So it's really nice that he was able to get the plus 10 before that happened. Alright, 49 speed with the plus speed Ivies. Weirding Tome with the Refine. I actually don't even remember what her Refine does. I believe it gives her stats and then... Yeah, hold on. If anyone in the chat can quickly tell me what her Refine does, because I completely forgot while I take a look at the rest of the build here. Alright, so she has Drawback, Iceberg, Fury 3, Desperation 3, and then Times Pulse 3 with Flashing Blade 3. Alright, so it's a danger build with Fury 3 getting her low on health, so we can just make use of Desperation and then hit the foes twice in a row, get Flashing Blade to ramp into Iceberg, and then just body them with an Iceberg to the face. Alright, so pretty good stuff there. The synergy with Times Pulse and then Flashing Blade and Iceberg is really good with Desperation. Obviously, for the A slot, you could alternately go for Attack and Speed Push 4 or Attack and Res Push 4 if you want to get some more damage out of Iceberg. Or Fury 4 as well if you want to gain some defense and res. Mirror Impact could also be a pretty interesting option for some extra res and stopping the foe's follow-up. And then with the extra res, Iceberg is going to hit harder. So she does have a couple of options for the A skill there. Alright, our boy Frederick X is holding it down in the chat. So her Refine grants Speed Up 3, Sabotage, Speed and Res, and then if a penalty is active on the foe, she gets all stats up 4. Wow, that's actually a pretty stacked Refine if I'm being honest. So Speed Up 3 and then Sabotage, Speed and Res. If her Res is higher than the foes, then they're going to take, I believe the Sabotage skills are -7. So -7 speed and res, that's pretty significant actually. Yeah, wow, that's really going to suck for the opponents then. Oh man, that's an awesome Refine actually. Wow. Yeah, so I think you probably want to go for Fury 4 then, because that way it's going to raise her res even higher and she has a better chance of inflicting the Sabotage effect there. Yeah, that is definitely the way to go. Forget what I said about Mirror Impact and Attack and Speed Push 4. Fury 4 for that additional points in res is going to help her out a lot. So yeah, that's probably the way to go on this Lute. Definitely a solid build. I don't really have anything else to comment on. It looks like it's going to work out just fine. Alright, we got Bro Killy's up next with a Awakening Ana. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, so a +1 Ana with plus res as the Ivies. Oh man, our boy has done some stuff here. We have Distant Counter and Close Call on this unit. And Joint Drive Speed. If this guy was not running Joint Drive Speed on this Ana, I would have just raged because this is the unit that comes with Joint Drive Speed out of the box. So there's like literally no reason not to have the Joint Drive skill on her. Her weapon is really good. You guys have heard me talk about it already, especially in the showcase video where I did. It's really nice being able to just jump to any ally in 2 spaces. A really awesome effect there. And then it also gives her attack and speed up 5. So she does have a really stacked weapon. And this Ana is the fastest lance infantry unit that we have in the game. So she's going to make perfect use of Close Call. Alright, Distant Counter and Close Call, of course, with Noontime. I'm assuming with Noontime you have Brave Lucina to support her. So you can just instantly ramp into Noontime and heal some HP back. Yeah, pretty solid stuff here. I'm going to be honest, like there's really nothing I would change. Sturdy Stance is perfect because her defense is lower than res. Yeah, this is pretty much the perfect bait build for Ana. Assuming, of course, you have Brave Lucina to support her. But very good stuff there. Very awesome unit. We need to start getting more units like this that are unique in what they do. Like, they keep on giving us fast sword units and bulky axe units and stuff like that. Like, we need a change of pace really fast where maybe we get some more bulky sword units or sword units that do something different. And some axe units that actually have speed. Because it's been way too many bulky axe units in a row. I'm getting a little tired of it. So that Ana was a nice change of pace with the Speedy Lance thing. Alright, we got Finny Majig over here. I'm Armored Sully, the one with the +10 Sully. Oh, that's probably on my friends list then. I've since completed my +10 Minerva. Alright, let's take a look at this Minerva here. Alright, look at her chubby cheeks, man. I just want to pinch him. She's so cute, but remember guys, don't coddle this Minerva or else she's going to run you through with her axe. So be very careful with the head pats on this one. Alright, +10 Mini Minerva, very good stuff. She is like one of the best merge projects you can go for in the Grail shop right now. Man, that's what her stats look like at plus 10. Jeez. 62 attack, 48 speed, 46 defense, and 26 res. Wow. This is a worthy plus 10 project right here. Man, I might have to actually go in with the heroic rails on this one. I'm going to have to think about that. Alright, but Dragoon Axe, of course, very good weapon. Reposition, Aether, Dragoon Shield, Flyer Formation, Threaten, Attack, and Speed 3, and Heavy Blade 3. Alright, so it's going to be real easy for her to ramp into Aether, because, of course, her weapon has built-in -1 cooldown. And she's really strong, too, so Heavy Blade is going to let her just hit the foes twice and easily ramp into Aether here. Now, Flyer Formation, I don't know if you need Flyer Formation anymore. Now, a really cool thing about these flying units is that they just recently got access to the snag skills. So if you wanted to go for snag, speed, and defense from the current summer banner, I think that could work out. Because all you got to do is reposition or shove or smite your unit, and then all the nearest foes within 4 spaces just take -6 to speed and defense. So the snag skills are pretty nasty for debuffing, and it's really awesome that our flying units finally have a go-to B-slot option. They got shafted pretty bad where they couldn't have lull skills or ruse skills before this. So finally, the snag skills coming in clutch for these flying units. Okay, otherwise though, Threaten, Attack, and Speed 3, you may want to go for Defense Smoke actually, if you have flying, or if you have Dancer support, so she can take multiple actions. But otherwise, Threaten, Attack, and Speed 3, I guess if you're going to bait with her, I guess that's fine, because she's going to, of course, inflict some crazy debuffs with that on the foes. And with Aether for healing, she has a good chance to bait. Dragoon Shield is also Iote's shield with stats, so no bows are going to really be able to threaten her. Yeah, I think that's fine. I was going to say like Defense Smoke or Panic Smoke, so she could just deal some extra damage when you have Dancer support, but Threaten, Attack, and Speed 3 is probably fine on this build. Now, I mean, I'm going to recommend Gale Force as an option, but of course Aether with the healing is going to be pretty nice too, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. The only reason why I like having Gale Force on her is because she just does it a little bit better than both Linus and Raven, and those were our other 2 Axe Gale Force options. So it's nice that we finally got a flying unit with a lot of good speed for an Axe, and she makes perfect use of Gale Force if you wanted to give it to her, but I can totally see the value of Aether on a build like this. So pretty awesome unit overall, pretty good stuff. Alright, we got LJ Dermot up next with a Legendary Ike. Oh man, when is this guy going to get his Ragnall Refine? Like, at this point, those really early Legendary heroes need the Refine badly. Like, Ike and Fiorm and Gunthra and so on and so forth. Legendary Lyn especially, like, if you look at some of the base kits and the weapons on those early on Legendary heroes, it's like a complete joke compared to the Legendary heroes now. It's really messed up. Like, we have stuff like Bramimon coming right out of the box with, like, the nastiest base kit in the game. Compared to Legendary Ike, and I think Legendary Ike's B skill out of the box was Seal, Attack, and Defense, or, like, Seal, Attack, and Speed, or something like that. That is so messed up, man. Like, they really, really got to do something in terms of refines for these guys. And, of course, Ragnall Refine would be very nice for your boy, too. Because that way my Resplendent Ike only gets better. But I digress. Okay, Fortress Defense and Red 3. We got Quick Repost 3, Attack Smoke 3, and Steady Stance 3. Alright, Neutral Ivies. So I'm assuming this is the free one that he got from the Hero Rises event way back when this guy won it. Yeah, Radiant Aether is really good. Now, the way that people like to run this guy to make him a little bit different from the other Ikes is they like to run Special Spiral on him and then the Breath skill. But now that Brave Lucina can provide the Breath skill, you don't even need that. So Special Spiral is really sick on this dude, and then Brave Lucina within 2 spaces to support. And then you're free to run anything in the A slot, like maybe Distant Defense 4 or one of the Stance 3s or Stance level 4s. Bracing Stance 3 is probably the way to go for a bait build like this. And then he's just going to smack the foes with Radiant Aether every single time they hit him. So it's got a lot of sustain and a lot of stopping power on a build like this. I really like the Special Spiral Aether builds, of course. But for what this is here, this looks like a pretty budget build, and it looks fine by me. Quick repost, of course, and then attack smoke. Maybe as the Sacred Seal, go for Distant Defense or Mirror Stance 2. And that's pretty much it. Like, for a budget build, looks fine. I don't want to recommend anything like too high budget outside of maybe Special Spiral for this guy, because it really does a lot for him, having Special Spiral with Radiant Aether. But otherwise, pretty good stuff. Fortress Defense and Res 3 is fine with built-in distant counters, so not too shabby for a Legendary Ike. Alright, next up we've got Rams here. Okay, any reason I never see her, she seems like she'd be amazing. 16 might weapon that has Desperation built into it, which also functions at all HP. Yes, very true. If one of your other units acts before you act with her and 50 base speed, if you get all her kitted out for pretty reliable doubling with Swift Sparrow. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of this stuff that Rams has said here is true. The only reason I can think that people don't run Tsubasa is that they just were not a fan of the TMS banner and they didn't want to summon on it. Now, TMS, I can't really comment too much on TMS because your boy hasn't played it. But TMS is not the best representation of Persona or Fire Emblem from what I've heard. Now, you guys can let me know in the chat if that's right or wrong, because, I mean, I'm just spitting, completely unknown truths here, so I could use some backup on that. But, yeah, I remember for sure this being one of the more, underrated banners that people didn't like, even though the units were all very solid, so that's probably the reason why nobody runs this unit at plus 10. Alright, but she is very good, of course. She's arguably the best flying lance unit in the game, so, I mean, that alone is enough to give her credit. Alright, we got plus attack as the Ivies. Interesting that you're not going with plus speed, but I think she has a super boon in speed as well, so, that would make it even easier for her to get the double attacks. But she's already so fast anyway, it doesn't even matter. Alright, Mirage Feather has effective against armor and cavalry. Built-in Desperation if someone else acts before her. So, this weapon is beyond belief stacked. It's just so crazy. Swift Sparrow 3, Aerobatics 3, Joint Drive Attack, and then Death Blow 3. Yeah, this is going to destroy people for sure. Man, okay, so in the B slot, yeah, Aerobatics I guess is fine, or Flyer Formation, depending on what kind of team you're running her on. So she can just swoop in like Peter Pan on Broadway and get some KOs like that. But, if you want to reposition her into the action, actually the snag skills could be pretty clutch. Yeah, snag, speed, and defense. Let's say you have another flying unit on the team. They use reposition on Tsubasa to get her closer to the foes. And then the snag skill kicks in and debuffs them, and then Tsubasa is free to go for her attack. And because a unit just used reposition as their action, Mirage Feather is going to let her get the desperation effect at that point. So yeah, actually the snag skills seem pretty clutch on this unit in particular. So probably speed and defense snag is what you want to go for, I would say. Just for that movement shenanigans support, and then it combos really nicely with Mirage Feather. Otherwise, this is perfect. There's really nothing I can comment on. Instead of Death Blow, maybe you could go for Swift Sparrow 2 and just gain a little bit more speed, but it doesn't even really matter. She is going to be causing some insane headaches for the foes. So yeah, really awesome unit, and it is unfortunate that we don't really see her all that often, but I mean, people were just not down with that banner, I guess, so that's the reason why. Alright, we got John V in the chat saying snag Basa. I like that. Alright, Frederick X saying, have you seen Bayonetta? Yes, I have actually. Bayonetta is basically just a sexy version of Devil May Cry. I haven't played Bayonetta 2 though. I only played the first one on PS3, so that's pretty much it. Hanako-chan saying, Tacho, drink some water. Alright, let me actually drink some water then. I have been smacking my lips a lot here. Alright, so we got up next Scotty with his Robin M. Now, I feel like Robin M is due for a Resplendent alt or something like that, because there's no way this guy wouldn't sell Fate Passes. He's like one of the most popular characters in the series. And Scotty says, I can't believe I sacked an Idun. Alright, what did he sack? Oh, he sacked the OG Idun for Fortress Defense and Res 3. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, did he sack the duo Idun for a second there? But nah, Fortress Defense and Res 3. There's actually a free copy of that on the Cliff that you can get in the Compile shop. So that could be an option if you wanted it. Alright, Tactical Bolt, of course, it's just a Spectrum Tactic skill there with +4 to all stats if you meet the Tactic skill requirement. So pretty solid for buffing, and then it also gives him effective against Colorless. Alright, Reposition, Ignis, Quick Repost 3, Attack Smoke 3, and Distant Defense 3. Pretty solid build, to be honest. Like, there's really not too much that I could comment on here. Looks pretty competent. Maybe instead of Quick Repost in the B slot, you could run Lull, Attack, and Res there. And then you can run Quick Repost as the Sacred Seal instead. Because those Lull skills are just way too good to not run. Being able to negate the foe's active buffs is so good. And it really hurts the Blades Home units too, because they can only rely on 2 stats, possibly, to be gaining the full effect from their Blades Home. So Lull, Attack, and Res is definitely going to make him a lot tankier for sure. But this is fine too. I mean, there's really not any need to change anything here. And maybe instead of Ignis, go for like Noontime or something like that. Or maybe even Bonfire, just to activate his special a little bit faster. Yeah, probably Bonfire if you want to go for damage, or Noontime if you want to go for sustain. But pretty solid unit, actually. Actually, as soon as this guy gets his Resplendent alt, he's definitely going to be a lot better. He is one of those units that's really going to benefit from the +2 to all stats, because his stats were pretty well-rounded. He didn't really have anything that he was weak in. So, hopefully we get a Resplendent Robin in the future at some point. Would definitely do this guy a lot of justice, and of course some better art would be nice too. Alright, we got Zulauf up next. Arden is speed. About all this meme build needs is Life and Death 4 and Threat and Attack and Speed 3. Oh man, fast Arden. Okay, look at this guy. He looks like the Hulk. Like, just straight up. This guy, he's about to just smash everybody. Arden mad. Arden smash. Okay. I should probably not do any Hulk impressions. Alright, Petal Parasol Plus. I don't actually remember what Petal Parasol does. I believe that one is +4 attack and speed. It could be Petal Parasol. Who had that? I'm drawing a blank on that one. If you guys in the chat could help me out real quick on what this weapon does, because I completely forgot. Alright, but otherwise he has Swap, Aether, Life and Death 3, Special Fighter 3, Panic Ploy 3, and Attack and Speed Bond 3. Okay, so your boy is going for some speed on this Arden, but I'm not really sure if it's paying off, because he's only got 30 speed after all of this is done. And then we got Attack and Speed Bond, which isn't really going to come into play too often if you want him to player phase, so you may want to go for Swift Sparrow 2 instead. Now, Panic Ploy is definitely the way to go on this guy, because he has the highest HP stat in the entire game. So if anyone wants to have Panic Ploy, it's definitely Arden. Okay, Zulauf says +5 attack and speed as long as the foe has a penalty. Okay, that makes sense. With Panic Ploy, he's going to be inflicting his penalties right there. And then he's going to get attack and speed up 5 on the foes, so I guess that could work out. But man, like, I gotta be honest, I don't think there's any reason at all to be building speed on this Arden. Like, he just doesn't need it. There's really just no reason to try to go for speed on him. Special Fighter, well, I mean, in theory, Special Fighter would help if he was fast enough, but he's only gonna have, like, with Attack and Speed Bond and then Petal Parasol taken into account, he's only at 40 speed. Like, that's just not enough. You're gonna need like 50 or 60 speed nowadays. So, yeah, it's a nice attempt. I mean, I like thinking outside the box and trying to go for different types of builds than you would expect. But I gotta be honest, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, we have the Light Blessing too, so that means Peony could be coming into play here. Yeah, for every Peony on the team, he's gonna be gaining 4 speed there. And he's gonna get 5 HP as well, so... Alright, let's say you have 2 or 3 Peonies on the team, that would be plus 12 speed. Okay. If you're running Peony, then it looks a little bit more possible that he could pull this off. But, like, if you're gonna just stack Peonies, there's better units to do it with, man. So, I don't know about this one, guys. I would probably just try to do something like this on a better unit with a little bit more speed to pull it off. But when it comes to Arden, you want to focus a lot on his HP and his attack, because this guy, like, when they made this guy, they were not thinking about getting merges on him at all. If you look at his stat spread, he's just all HP, all attack, and all defense. So, like, this was way before they ever even considered us getting plus 10 on Tempest Trial units. So, with that in mind, like, his insane HP at plus 10 is going to be crazy. And then his attack is going to be really nice. You could run Bold Fighter or even Follow-Up Ring, which he comes with. So, that could be an option. So, yeah, I would say just focus more on HP and attack with him. Alright, next up, we've got Makore, Refined Kitty Paddle. I agree with that sentiment. Okay, he has Reposition and Draconic Aura. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, we got a Spanish, I believe. That's a Spanish Alm here, so I can't actually read Spanish, so... Let's see here. Alright, he says Reposition and Draconic Aura. Okay, Swift Sparrow 2, Mystic Boost 3, Speed and Defense, Rouse, Speed and Defense 3, and then Darting Blow 3. Alright, plus 5 on Alm here. Yeah, like, Mystic Boost on this Alm in particular is really good, because he has the Double Lion Refine on his Falchion. And with the healing you get from Mystic Boost, he's going to be able to keep that in play and keep on using it. So, with the potential for quad attacks, this guy is actually really awesome. Alright, Swift Sparrow 2. Of course, I think in the A slot, if you could get Swift Sparrow 3 or... Yeah, Swift Sparrow 3. I was going to say Attack and Speed Push 4, but nah. This guy, he doesn't want to lose HP, so... Yeah, Swift Sparrow 3 is probably the way to go. And then he's got... In the C slot, I would say go for Joint Drive Speed or Joint Drive Attack. And then you could feel free to keep Darting Blow if you want. Like, he's not really the fastest unit, so having a chance to go for the quad attacks with this guy would be pretty nuts. But otherwise, maybe Swift Sparrow 2 as the seal, so you could get some more attack out of him. Otherwise, though, really good stuff here. Like, this unit is really awesome. Maybe even for the special, you could go for Gale Force, and then with the potential for quadding on this guy, he could activate that more readily. And then you could possibly even go for Heavy Blade as the seal, so he can ramp into Gale Force. Just a couple of options, but Mystic Boost 3, that's pretty much the main takeaway for this guy, so he can always have Double Lion. And that's basically all there is to say. Like, a really awesome unit, really good refine on this Alm. Definitely one of the better, like, OG units that got a refine, so pretty cool. Alright, we got Pedro Silver Master up next with a Cordelia. Alright, so Resplendent Cordelia at plus 10. Let's take a look. Alright, Cordelia's Lance with the special effect refine. We got Reposition, Gale Force, Sturdy Impact, Guard 3, Even Attack Wave 3, and Sturdy Blow 2. Oh man, she is going to have plus 14 defense when she initiates. And with Guard, oh man, that's going to be pretty sick. Yeah, wow. There's like no baiting this Cordelia at all. Okay, Guard is really good, of course. Now, I actually run this Cordelia as well, and I run... Instead of Guard, I like to run Dull Close on her, so you can negate the foe's active buffs if they're a melee type. And of course, that's the only thing that's going to matter, because she's always going to be player phasing, so... If you're attacking a melee unit, you can negate their buffs, and it's going to be really nice there. The Snag skills could be an option, like Snag, Speed, and Defense that we just recently got. Not so much on her as opposed to how it was on the Tsubasa we saw from earlier, because The snag skill, it doesn't really combo too well with her weapon, but it's still really good just to get the -6 speed and defense on the foes, and it's really easy to activate, so I think that could be good. But guard, of course, being able to negate the foe's special charging is very nice. Well, I guess you don't even need guard. Like, if you have an ally on the team with a ruse skill, you could just rally on her, get the ruse off on the foe she's going to hit, and then you don't even need guard at that point, so yeah, you probably want something on her that's going to be more effective for combat, like dull close like I mentioned earlier, or maybe a snag or something like that. Because, like, guard is good, but if you have a ruse skill and you can just get guard from that, then it would be a little bit more optimal to have something else in the B slot. Otherwise, like, there's really nothing to comment on here. Maybe instead of even attack wave, go for joint drive speed or joint drive attack. Which I've said like a million times on this stream. You guys probably think I'm a broken record for recommending those skills, but that's just how it is, guys. They're just really good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that's all I have to say. Maybe instead of Sturdy Blow, go for Swift Sparrow too as well, but she's a really good unit, and I personally consider Resplendent Cordelia the second best Lance Flyer behind Tsubasa. She's just really that good, and the Resplendent ult and the Resplendent stats really helped her out. So, pretty cool stuff there. Alright, we got another Resplendent Roy over here. Let's take a look. Alright, so +10 with +9 flowers. Okay, we got Ignis, Fortress Defense and Res 3. We got Wrath 3, Threat and Attack and Speed 3, and Close Defense 3. Okay, so it's a melee focus build here. Pretty interesting. Now, of course, dragon types are melee types, so he has effective damage on them, and then close defense is giving him defense and res. So he's going to have a pretty easy time against dragons. Plus defense as the Ivy is pretty good because he has the super boon in that. And with Wrath, he's going to get +10 damage. Oh, man. This guy, he's going to deal a lot of damage here. Yeah, maybe instead of Ignis, maybe Bonfire would be a little better because it activates faster. I'm trying to think of ways that you could get this guy to just really quickly activate a special and then get out of there. Ignis is going to do a lot of damage for sure with Wrath, but maybe Bonfire is faster, or maybe even Ruptured Sky, so you can just crush dragon types even worse. And then for the C-slot skill, I think he may want Time's Pulse, actually, so you can just get to his special a lot faster, and Wrath is going to come into play more often. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. Just maybe try to figure out a way to get his special out a lot faster, and then he's going to be pretty much good to go at that point. Because, yeah, the one problem to this Roy is that his attack is a little bit low. So with Wrath and with a special, he can just get to it really quick. And that's definitely going to be the way to go for a build like this that's melee-centric. Yeah, and then maybe Time's Pulse. That's pretty much it. Like, I can't really think of too much else for this build. Pretty awesome stuff, though. A different take on how you may want to build Roy, for sure. Like, normally, I would say go for, like, Distant Counter and then maybe a lull skill in the B slot and stuff like that, but pretty interesting. I like seeing builds that think outside the box and try to come up with other workarounds for units' deficiencies, like going for Wrath and a big special like Ignis. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty nice idea. Alright, we got a Fallen Tiki up next from Aether. Oh, this guy's profile pic is pretty dope. It's the yin-yang signal, and then it looks like really cool colors there. That's really awesome. Okay, so we got a Fallen Tiki at +10. Alright, let's see here. Raising Breath. We got plus speed as the Ivies. Reposition, Aether, Bracing Stance 3. Oh man, R.I.P. Mila. So Mother Mila had to die to get Bracing Stance 3 on this Tiki. But it's definitely worth it, of course. Oh, wait a second. He has Bracing Stance 3 and then he has Special Fighter 3. Both of those skills inflict guard on the foes, so I don't know if you want to do that. Maybe go for Bold Fighter in that case instead of Special Fighter, or go for Vengeful Fighter or something like that. Because you don't really need to have guard effect twice. They don't even stack, so yeah, you probably don't want Special Fighter anymore, or maybe instead of Bracing Stance, just go for Distant Defense 4. I feel like Distant Defense 4 is the go-to A-slot skill for both this Tiki and the Legendary one. Solitary Dream, of course, very good, and then Attack Smoke. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I can say. Just, you don't need 2 guard effect skills, so probably change either Special Fighter or Bracing Stance 3, whichever one you prefer. I would personally say maybe change Bracing Stance to Distant Defense 4, because Special Fighter is just really good. But Bold Fighter and then having Bracing Stance could still be pretty clutch. I mean, that guaranteed double attack from Bold Fighter. Let's say the foe has Wary Fighter, like if she's in Arena and she's fighting a Surtur, and the Surtur has Wary Fighter, and you have Bold Fighter and you're just way faster, you're going to get that double attack regardless and just destroy Surtur at that point. So Bold Fighter could still be pretty clutch in Arena mode. Yeah, so pretty much just think about which one of these skills you want to switch and then go for that. Otherwise, very awesome unit. We got Asian Invasion 6669 over here with a Itsuki over here. Alright, we got a +8 on this guy. Pledged Blade Plus. Okay, that's what Obero's weapon was. Now I remember. So the waifu Obero came with Pledged Blade Plus. That's what it's called. And it's basically the sword variant of Huge Fan. So pretty awesome weapon there. Interesting that you would take off his perf, though. What did he have? Mirage Falchion, I believe? And then this guy's weapon actually gives him a ton of stats. So, like, it's counterintuitive to want to change that. And it also gives him effective against dragons, which is nice for arena modes where dragons are everywhere. But Pledge Blade with that breath effect is very nice as well. Alright, we got Distant Counter and Close Call. And Rouse, Speed and Defense, and Swift Stance. So he's going to get a lot of speed here, and it's going to be real easy for him to activate Close Call at this point. Pretty interesting. He's getting the ramping from Pledge Blade, so Noontime is always going to proc. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting Itsuki build. You wouldn't see something like this too normally, but I think it's definitely got a lot of potential here. Now, maybe instead of Pledge Blade, you could just keep Mirage Falchion and support him with Lucina. And then that way you can still get the breath effect and ramp into Noontime while having effective against dragons. But otherwise, this looks pretty solid. Like, I don't really think there's anything I can comment on here. Like, DC Close Call is just going to work. Like, there's not too much else to say about that. Very good combo here. Very awesome unit. Very nice build. You don't really see Speedy Itsuki too often, so shoutouts to Asian Invasion for that build. Alright, 380 AM, one of our mods over here, who has been killing it over here with the quick to unpin these reviews that I've been doing. So shoutouts once again to the mods. They are just... I'm so thankful to have these mods here. Sleepy, Vanna Tinkle, Gray Fan, and 380 AM. You guys are the best. Like, thanks so much for helping me just keep the server in check and all the good stuff you guys do. I really appreciate it. Alright, so might as well throw my hat in the ring. Here is my Leif. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, we got a +2 Leif over here with plus defense as the IVs. Alright, Sakva Becker. I think that's how you say that. I'm not really too sure. Okay, Open the Future. Distant Counter, Deadly Balance, Times Pulse, and Attack Smoke. So pretty much his base kit. I mean, there's really no reason to change his base kit, because this guy, right out of the box, he's one of the better units for sure. Open the Future is the special that we saw on Duo Alphonse, so it's pretty awesome that they decided to give it to this guy. It's effectively just Bonfire with healing, so a very good special for sure. And I believe Deadly Balance, I forget what it does. I think it negates the foe's follow-up attack, or it gives him a breath effect. I can't remember exactly. I think it is the breath effect, though, that he gets from Deadly Balance. And, of course, with Time's Pulse, he starts off with a 2-hit Open the Future. And when the foes attack him, he's going to get the ramping from Deadly Balance and just instantly pop him with Open the Future and heal. So, pretty awesome. Pretty good stuff here. Like, there's really no reason to change the base kit on Leif. He just comes really good right out of the box. And Attack Smoke as the seal makes sense. Maybe go for Quick Repost. I don't know if he has any effects on him that grants a guaranteed double attack. I actually have not summoned this guy myself, so I don't really have any experience at all with using him, so I can't comment too much, but yeah, I'm sure he probably has a way to do a guaranteed follow-up or negate the foe's follow-up or something like that, so maybe you don't need quick repost here. But attack smoke is definitely going to be fine, for sure. Unless you want to go for, like, mirror stance instead, or maybe even steady stance, or sturdy stance, because sturdy stance gives him defense, and it gives him attack, so Open the Future would do a lot more damage that way. But this looks fine, man. Like, Lethe is a really good unit. One of the ones that I really wish I had a copy of. Alright, we got Noah Coconut with 2 units here. Oh, my boy is trying to cheat. Trying to show off 2 units at once. Alright, we're going to take a look at both of his units, but please don't do this in the future. Don't send in 2 units at once, because, like, we're trying to be fair to everybody and get everyone's unit review in, so I'm going to do it this one time, but that's going to be it. If you're sending in a unit, just send one at a time, please. Alright, so we got the New Year Anna over here. I can't believe it took us this long to get our first Anna alt. And then we got, not too long after this, we got the Awakening Anna. Like just a couple months later, so it seems like Insys is finally getting on the Anna train. There's so many Annas to add. Alright, we got +1 with plus speed as the IVs. That's very good. Fortune Bow plus. We got Swap, Glacies, Attack and Defense Bond 3, Sabotage Attack 3, Attack and Speed Gap 3, and Fortress Res 2. Now, I don't even remember what Fortune Bow does, so if someone in the chat can help me out with that and let me know what Fortune Bow actually does, that would be great. Alright, but I think Fortune Bow comes with a Sabotage skill, actually. I'm not too sure on that. I'd have to double check, but if anyone in the chat can help me out, that would be great. Alright, Attack and Defense Bond. You probably want something else. Wow, she only has 16 defense? Jeez. I was going to say go for, like, close foil, but man, with 16 defense, I don't know about that. Yeah, you probably want a player phase with her if that's the case. So maybe go for, like, Sturdy Impact so she gets some more defense and negates the foe's follow-up. Yeah, I think Sturdy Impact is probably the way to go. Alright, our boy Frederick X in the chat is just killing it with these really quick weapon effects here. So, thank you so much, Frederick X. Alright, at the start of the turn, if any foe's res is less than or equal to unit's res -3, and that foe is adjacent to another foe, inflicts defense and res -5 on that foe. Alright, so it's basically Sabotage, Defense, and res. Okay, so I was kind of close. I thought it was a Sabotage skill, and seems like I was right about that. And she comes with Sabotage Attack as well, so she's going to be doing Attack, Defense, and res reduction on the foes with less res. Yeah, very good stuff for sure. Just level up Fortress Res to level 3. And she should be able to see that come into play pretty often. Wow, she only has 43 attack. Jeez, that's pretty low. Man, 43 attack. Wow, that's actually really bad for a unit that released at the time that this Anna did. Well, I guess she's losing some from Fortress Res, right? Yeah, you may want to go for a different seal than Fortress Res. Maybe go for, instead of that, like, Attack and res, so you get +2 to both. Or possibly, you know, you could go for Fury 4 as the ace skill to raise her stats a lot better, instead of going for Attack and Defense Bond or Sturdy Impact. And that way she's going to support a lot better with all the Sabotage effects she has. Alright, Attack and Speed Gap 3 to just give some buffs to the unit with the highest attack and speed combo. That seems fine. Yeah, the gap skills are definitely way better to go for if you want to go for buffs, as opposed to the wave skills and stuff like that. Because these gap skills are pretty consistent overall. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. Don't run Fortress Res 2, because 43 attack, that's just unacceptable. You probably want to go for Fury 4 in the A slot, and then something else in the seal to not tank her attack like that. Now, we're pretty long overdue for a Fury 3 Sacred Seal. I wonder if they're ever going to give us Fury 3 as the seal, because I never thought they were going to give us Death Blow, but we did eventually get that. So the Sacred Seals, like, they got to start holding it down a little bit better with the seals. They just recently started cutting down our seal count by 1, for every Tempest trial so they could give us the toilet paper, as Lubu likes to call them. But, I mean, Divine Codes, like, they're not really going to be a worthy prize unless we're getting good Sacred Seals. So if they're going to cut the seal count down by 1, then we really just need to get some better stuff. Okay, and this guy also sent in an Astrum. So we got a +5 Astrum here with Mercurius, Drawback, Bonfire, Distant Counter, Lull, Attack and Speed, Attack Smoke, and Swift Sparrow too. Alright, so he's got a lot of attack and speed, and then he's going to be debuffing the foe's attack and speed. Alright, Distant Counter as well, very nice for just countering the foes. His res is a little bit low though, but I guess with Lull Attack that doesn't really matter. Alright, Attack Smoke and Swift Sparrow. Let's see. Alright, Mercurius is going to give him +4 to all stats if you meet the condition, which is pretty easy to do. I mean, his weapon effect is really easy to give some buffs to your unit and allies. And then instead of Swift Sparrow, well, nah, you probably want to keep Swift Sparrow, to be honest. I was going to say go for like Distant Defense 3 or something to raise his res, like Mirror Stance 2 as well, but nah, I think you want to go for the player phasing with this guy, and then in the event that you need to spot check and go for a bait, he can have the option to do that. So yeah, like, this looks pretty solid. I don't think there's anything that needs to be changed, actually. Yeah, because Bonfire is going to definitely help him deal some more damage. Lull, Attack, and Speed is going to make it easier for him to get doubles. Yeah, his stats seem a little bit low, but that's because he's at +5 instead of +10. So he's going to be, he has a potential +10 to be gaining to his BST there. So yeah, definitely get on the merges with Astrum. He is one of the better Grand Hero Battle units that you can get the merges on from the Grail shop. So pretty solid build, not too much else to say there. Alright, Noah Coconut again, man, this guy, our boy Noah Coconut has been sending a lot of units for us, but yeah, this is the last one that he sent, so we're going to take a look at it. Alright, we got another mini Minerva here with +5 merges. Alright, Rally, Speed, and Defense Plus. We got Gale Force, Mystic Boost 3, Drive Defense 2, and Heavy Blade. Alright, so unlike the mini Minerva we saw from before, this one actually does have Gale Force. Yeah, I kind of like Gale Force a lot on her, because she is arguably the best free-to-play axe option for Gale Force right now. Mystic Boost 3, very interesting. I'm not really sure if she needs Mystic Boost, because she's not really losing health from anything. I guess it does mess with Wrathful Staff, but you probably want to go for Desperation instead of Mystic Boost, I think. Yeah, because once she gets into Desperation range, she's going to hit twice in a row. If she has more attack than the foes, she can get Heavy Blade, and then she's going to ramp right into Gale Force in one go. Yeah, I would probably go for Desperation if you're going to run Gale Force on her. And then, of course, Joint Drive Attack or Joint Drive Speed for the seal. Or for the C skill, my bad. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, otherwise, that's all there needs to be said. This mini Minerva is an awesome unit. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, something else, but nah. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, pretty solid unit there. There's not too much else to do for her. Just give her Desperation and a Joint Drive skill, basically. Alright, we got Bro Killy's back at it again. Cool lift, here's mine. Okay, so, oh, he's trying to outshine 380 AM with his lift. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, man, okay, so we're seeing some different stuff here. Okay, Wodao plus as the weapon. Interesting, so he's going to get +10 damage when he triggers Open the Future with that. Alright, we got Reposition, we got Distant Counter, of course, Deadly Balance, and Times Pulse. So his base kit, pretty much. And then Attack and Defense Bond. Now, I don't remember what Sakva Becker actually does. I think it gives him +4 to all stats if he's within range of an ally, and then that ally that is closest to him is going to take 20 chip damage after his combat. So actually, Sakva Becker has a very nice effect where you can just get units in range to go for Desperation and Danger builds like that. So the chip damage can actually play out in your favor. But I guess Wodao is nice if you want to go for some extra damage. It's hard to say if the +10 damage he's going to get from Wodao is going to overvalue the +4 to all stats he might have gotten from his weapon, though. Yeah, so I don't know. I think you probably still want to keep his perf regardless. And if you keep his perf, it just ends up being the exact same build we saw from 380 AM. So I guess these two are on par with their lift builds here. Yeah, there's really not much else to say. Instead of attack and defense bond, maybe go for mirror stance 2. Or sturdy stance 2, like I said from earlier. And I don't remember if he has a built-in quick repost effect from deadly balance, but probably not. So maybe quick repost could be a good option for the seal, but I don't know. I think you just want to stack attack with this guy and go for big damage with Open the Future. So probably sturdy stance or mirror stance is the way to go. Otherwise, looks pretty solid. There's really nothing to comment on with Lethe. He starts off with such a good base kit, so pretty awesome unit. All right, let's see. How many more do we have? Oh, wow. We aren't even like halfway through, man. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to be here for a little bit, guys. I might actually just save the rest for later after we get to a pretty decent point here. Let's just see how it goes. All right, next up we got Shiro with Bikini Ursula. Oh, man, she's looking pretty fine in that bikini, actually. I forgot about this Bikini Ursula because I've never summoned her, so... Oh, man, Summer Lake Jarn may have a challenger approaching here. Okay. All right, we got plus HP as the Ivies here. Okay, Scallop Blade plus, Rally Attack and Speed plus, Moonbow, HP and Attack 2, Defense and Res Ruse 3, Panic Ploy 3, and then HP and Speed 1. Okay, because she has a Ruse skill and it's going to be real easy for her to debuff and inflict guard, and her being a colorless dagger unit, I think you may want to go for the Broadleaf Fan if you can ever get a copy of that. Broadleaf Fan with Ruse skills is going to be pretty sick on her. Yeah, you're just instantly getting the debuffs, and then you're getting the guard effect, so yeah, that's definitely going to be the way to go. For the A skill, you probably want something more offensive than HP and attack, like maybe go for Swift Sparrow 3 or Attack and Speed Push 4 or something. I don't even remember what her base kit A skill was. And Panic Ploy, wow, she has 51 HP for a ranged horse. That's actually a lot. Oh, but the reason why is because she has a refined weapon, and then she has double HP skills here. Yeah, so maybe you don't want Panic Ploy. Maybe you want something else. I believe Scallop Blade is going to give her stat bonuses if the foes have debuffs on them. I could be wrong about that, though. I don't really remember what Scallop Blade does. Alright, but Panic Ploy, yeah, I would probably change that to a smoke skill, like maybe Panic Smoke instead, because being a ranged horse, it's real easy for her to attack the foes, and then you get an attack on the foe, and then with Panic Smoke, you inflict panic on the whole team, basically, without worrying about what HP is. And I see you've got the Dark Blessing on her, too, so that means she's possibly being ran on a Dark defense setup. Yeah, so probably that's the way you want to go. I would say Panic Smoke as the C skill instead. Also, what's really nice for a defense setup is Legault's weapon. What was it called again? Oh man, that dagger that gives you bonus stats or bonus damage based on the foe's stat bonuses that they have. I think it's the Cleaner, actually. Yeah, so maybe go for the Cleaner or go for Broadleaf Fan. Those are really nice on defense. And then with the Ruse skill, if you have her in a Rally Trap, that's going to be really good. And then go for something more offensive as the A skill, like Swift Sparrow 3. And I think you're going to be good to go at that point. Oh, also change the seal, of course, to Swift Sparrow 2 probably, or Death Blow even. Yeah, we got Sleepy Splashes in the chat saying Panic Smoke would mean dual Rally plus Ruse skill is not needed here. Yeah, I would agree with that. You probably don't want Panic Smoke. Or Panic Ploy. My bad, guys. You do want Panic Smoke, not Panic Ploy. Alright, so pretty cool unit, though. Not too shabby there, Shiro. Alright, we got Rafa Sebas in the chat. Or, in the chat. He may be in the chat, I don't know. But we have him over here with his Just in Time for Tempest Trial plus Resplendent Roy. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, so this is a I can't tell if this is Spanish or Italian, actually. Now, your boy can't actually read what the language is for this, so I believe this assist is repositioned, but I have no idea what the special is for this guy, so I can't comment. We have Distant Counter and Close Call, though, and Attack Smoke, and Swift Stance as the Sacred Seal. And he's got plus speed as the Ivies, so yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Close Call and Distant Counter on this Roy is definitely going to be one of his better combos you could go for. Now, if anyone in the chat knows what the special is on this Roy, that would definitely help me out. But I think Soul or Noontime is probably what you want, so he can gain some healing and just stay in the game a lot longer, especially if you got Brave Lucina supporting him for the breath effect. He's going to be able to just activate Soul and Noontime a lot faster and keep up the healing. Alright, we got Mr. Estimado in the chat saying that is Noontime that he has. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much the way to go. Noontime is perfect. So, not too much to comment on. I think this is a very good build for Roy here. Maybe instead of Swift Stance, you may want to go for Steady Stance, the one that gives speed and defense, because he's already got 38 res, which is pretty good. So, you may want to balance him a little bit better and get the defense and speed instead. Otherwise, though, this is a really good build, a really awesome unit, and one of the best Resplendent alts we've gotten. Alright, we got Maxi up next with Kiria over here. So, another one of these TMS units. Realize that this isn't the seal I use. It's supposed to be Heavy Blade. Oops. Okay. Alright, so we just have to account for Heavy Blade as the seal on this Kiria. Alright, attack and res solo 4. Oh my god. Fallen Julia had to die for this one. Oh man, that really hurts. Oh boy, Fallen Julia versus Kiria. Which one of them is better? Oh man, I don't even know, guys. Like, that's a really tough call because they're both super good. Like, two of the best red mages in the entire game. I might just barely give the edge to Fallen Julia, actually, but I mean, that's not taking anything away from Kiria, of course, because her weapon has that nice debuff effect on foes in 2 spaces, so all your other allies can benefit from that. Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, Lull Attack and Res and Panic Smoke, Attack and Res Solo 4, and Heavy Blade, like he said, for the Glimmer is going to be really good on this unit. There's really not much to comment on. I mean, Kiria came right out of the box with a really good kit, so there's nothing to say. Now, she does have a lot of defense and res, actually, so Close Counter could be a good option on her. Or possibly even Close Foil if you wanted to gain some defense. And with Lull, Attack, and Res, it's not like dragons are going to hurt her that bad. So, yeah, I think that could be another option, but wow, really good unit here. F in the chat for that Fallen Julia, though, man. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My voice is already dying. That's how we know the stream has been going on for quite some time. Oh, man, I gotta really, like, do something about my voice just dying on these streams. I might have to do, like, some vocal training or something. Alright, but we got Legendary Lyn over here with plus speed as the Ivies. Plus speed minus defense. Alright, so he's taking out her A-slot skill for Flashing Blade 4. I guess that's the way to go. I mean, they really messed up bad when they made this Lyn. Her A skill is so situational, and it's not even, like, good for her. Because her stat spread is super focused towards player phasing, and then they gave her a bait-type A skill, so I don't know what they were thinking with that, but I guess it is what it is. This is just one of those units that really could use a refine from the early-on Legendary heroes. Alright, so Flashing Blade 4, Desperation, Panic Smoke 3, and Swift Sparrow 2. And then we have Glacies as the special. Alright, so I guess this is as good as you can do for this Legendary Lyn. Just going for a Flashing Blade Desperation build and trying to get off Glacies as fast as possible. Now, you may want something a little bit faster than Glacies, like maybe Ruptured Sky or Moonbow or something, because Glacies being a 4-hit, she's not going to be able to use it in one round with Desperation. Oh, also what you could try is you could go for Time's Pulse as the C skill and then use Iceberg instead of Glacies. And that way you have Flashing Blade 4 and Desperation, and you're going to see it come into play right away. So Iceberg and Time's Pulse could be probably the way to go for this. Just so you can keep the big damage. She does have a lot of res, so Iceberg is going to add a lot. And you're going to see it in one round of combat once Desperation is ready. So yeah, that would be my comments on this Legendary Lyn, but man, she really needs a refine bad. Her and like all those early on Legendary heroes, they just really don't hold up too well anymore. Alright, we're going to do a couple of, let's say like, we're going to go up to this Brunnya, and then we're going to call it a day for this live stream, because my voice has just been through the shredder, guys, as you can hear. Alright, so times of the Azurescence with her Lethe over here. Oh, man. Yeah, my voice is just dead, guys. I apologize, but I'm going to have to take a quick break after this. Alright, so we got New Year Lethe here with plus speed as the Ivies. That's very good. So Lethe is really cool because Guardian Fang has the built-in close call and repel effect. So if she's got 10 more speed than the foes, she could possibly get a 40% damage reduction. So really good stuff there. Alright, Life and Death 3. Oh man, I don't know if you want Life and Death 3 actually, because that's just going to tank her defense and res. Look at this, she has 13 res. That's not good enough. Alright, what you probably want to do is go for Fury 4 instead of Life and Death 3, I would say. So that way you're not losing defense and res, and then you're still gaining attack and speed anyway. Alright, we got Lull Speed and Defense 3. That should be fine. Maybe go for like Lull Attack and Speed or something, but yeah, I think actually Lull Attack and Speed might be better, because that way she's going to take less damage from the Lull Attack, and then the Lull Speed gives her a better chance for the full damage reduction from her weapon. Alright, we got Drive Speed. Obviously, you're going to want to get Joint Drive Speed if you can ever get a hold of it. And then Speed Tactic as the seal. Now, if you're going to be focusing on Lethe to do all the combat, you could definitely get away with a different Sacred Seal. One that's going to help her out more. So maybe like Swift Stance or Steady Stance to get plus 4 speed and then plus 4 either defense or res. I think that could be nice. And then you rely on one of your other units to get the Speed Tactic effect on her to raise her speed. So yeah, that's probably the way to go. I would say just go for Fury 4 and then maybe Lull Attack and Speed if you can get it, and Joint Drive Speed in the C-slot skill. And that should be good to go. This Lethe is actually pretty cool. Wow, she has a hand puppet. Very interesting. I would have never pegged Lethe as a girl to play with hand puppets. She's really tough in like Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. She has a tough girl persona. So her playing with a finger puppet there or a hand puppet, I didn't know Lethe would have done something like that, but okay. Alright, that's the really cool thing about these seasonal alts for the units. You get to learn a little bit more about their personality than you thought you knew. Alright, pretty awesome unit though. Alright, we got My Waifu, or Mafu Waifu, with a 211S Joshua here. Alright, Joshua is really cool. He's actually my favorite of the Swordmaster units that we get in any of the games, so pretty awesome stuff. It's pretty much a tie between Joshua and Stefan for me. So let me know in the chat, guys, which of the Swordmaster units is your favorite and why that is. So I like Stefan a lot because Stefan is... Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't played Radiant Dawn, so I'm probably not going to say why he's my favorite, but there's some very good evidence, actually, that Stefan is descended from a certain person. So that's why I really like Stefan, and also he's the guy that teaches Ike how to use Aether. So Stefan is pretty awesome. But of course, Joshua with his taste in hats is really cool too. Alright, so let's see what we've got. Alright, we got +1 neutral Ivies here. Okay. Coral Bow plus, Shove, Blazing Wind.
life and death 3, attack and speed link 3, fortify defense 4, and HP up 5. Not sure why you need HP up 5 on this guy, but okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look like you need anything else here. Probably go for Special Spiral instead of Attack and Speed Link, so you can just spam Blazing Wind. And then for the Sacred Seal, you could go for either Flashing Blade or Heavy Blade, and then he's going to be able to always use Blazing Wind. Yeah, the Blazing Special spam with Special Spiral and either Heavy Blade or Flashing Blade is always going to be one of the best combos to go for, especially for these player phase units. So I would say probably go for something like that. But as it is now, like, Attack and Speed Link is fine. With Shove, you can just gain some stats on your allies. And for the Seal, you may want to go for Swift Sparrow 2 instead, or maybe even Death Blow, just so you can get a little bit more out of his attack and speed. I don't really know what HP plus 5 has to do with this build, so you probably want to just change that. Alright, otherwise though, really cool unit, and one of my favorites, of course. Alright, so we got Niter over here, back again, with a Legendary Leif. One of the best units in the game for sure. This guy is so good. Alright, we got plus defense as the IVs. Alright, we got the Master Bowgun. We got Reposition, Nyorin Zeal, Attack and Res Push 4, Escape Route 3, Defense Smoke 3, and then Brazen Attack and Res 3. Okay. Alright, very interesting stuff here. I mean, it's pretty much the base kit, except Escape Route is a little bit different. Okay, so with Escape Route and Attack and Res Push... Oh, this is actually pretty interesting, because... Alright, think about this. So, every time Leif attacks and he has Attack and Res Push 4, he's going to be taking some chip damage, right? So, let's say he goes into combat and he gets hit by the foe once, but he finishes them off and then he's below 50% HP. And then Nyorin Zeal activates and he gets the Gale Force effect. Normally, it would limit him to 1 movement per turn after that. But if you have Escape Route, then he can actually jump away and fall back on one of your units that are in a safe distance away from the foes. So that's actually pretty clutch, actually. I didn't even think about that. Man, shoutouts to... Whose build was this? Alright, yeah, shoutouts to Niter for the big brain strats with Escape Route and Nyorin Zeal. That's a pretty sick combo. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Like, definitely being able to use the attack and then get the Gale Force effect and jump out of the way, like, out of nowhere, is going to throw the foes for a loop for sure. Really safe for going in and getting some attacks on the foes. I like it. Like, this is a really awesome build. Really nice idea there. Now, your boy over here likes to play him a little bit more, like, in your face, because I like to run close counter, and then I like to run stuff like Vantage and stuff like that with Duo Mikaya's Duo skill to turn him into a monster. But this is pretty cool too, and it's definitely more efficient because you don't have to rely on other units or rely on anything else to come into play. So he's going to be very self-sufficient with this build. Very awesome stuff there. Very cool catch with the Escape Route and Nyorin Zeal combo. Alright, we're going to take a look at Showtime. It seems like my voice has come back to normal, so we may actually go for a couple more of these builds before we hop out of here. Alright, so let's take a look at Showtime with his Brunnya over here. Alright, so Devoted General, plus 10 Brunnya. Brunnya is a really good unit. One of the best in the game, and her weapon negating any of her own penalties is really good. Like that, in Aether Raids, penalties are all over the place. So if you could just say no to all of the penalties, you're going to be in good shape. Alright, we got Fury 4, we got Special Spiral 3, we got Times Pulse, and we got Attack and Speed Bond 3. I feel like you could get away with a higher cost special with a build like this, but I guess maybe not, because... Alright, Times Pulse is going to bring Glimmer down to a 1-hit cooldown. Alright, let's say you get Glimmer to activate in 1 round of combat, and then Special Spiral kicks in, and then Glimmer is fully charged for the next round. Huh. I feel, yeah, like, you only need Times Pulse for turn 1 if that's the case. I don't think you really want Times Pulse in this case. Unless you're going to run a higher cost special like maybe Iceberg or something, but... Yeah, Special Spiral alone should get the job done if you're going to run Glimmer. So instead of Time's Pulse, you could go for Panic Smoke or Res Smoke or something like that, so she can just deal more damage to the foes when she has dancing support. And Attack and Speed Bond 3, I guess that's fine, but not going to be quite as consistent as Swift Sparrow 2 or Death Blow 3. So you may want to go for one of those instead. Yeah, and otherwise, I mean, this looks fine. Just, I think you may want to change Time's Pulse to something else. But it looks pretty good, though, otherwise. Like, Fury 4, and then getting the chip damage from that to get her weapon effect to kick in right away is definitely going to be a good thing. So, pretty awesome unit. Definitely one of the best plus 10 projects you can go for in the Grail shop. So, definitely do not sleep on Brunnya. Very solid unit. Alright, we got Lightning Lag with a Clarisse. Oh, man, this is going to be awesome. Okay, so Clarisse finally got her refine, of course. Alright, this is not in a language that I can read, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. So her refined weapon, it's similar to what Layla does, where she gets the Fire Sweep effect if she's in 2 spaces of a support partner. And then she gains speed and attack, and then she also does a Savage Blow effect. Alright, now the one bad thing to Clarisse is that she doesn't switch places with the support partner after combat. If she was able to do that, that would have just been swell. And actually, she would have been a really top priority for merging at that point, because you guys already know how good Layla is in Aether Raids. If you're fighting a good offense team where they have Layla and a good support partner, there's just no countering that. Like, it's a really good setup. And Layla being a dagger, she can walk over the traps and just negate them with Disarm Trap. So there's just no defending against a really good Layla. So if Clarisse was able to do something like that, that would have been really good. But they stopped short of giving her the swap effect, unfortunately. Alright, I'm not sure what her assist is here or her special, but it looks like she's got Life and Death 4, Special Spiral, and then Savage Blow. Oh, and really interesting, we're using the Sorcery Blade seal here. Alright, so we recently just got access to Sorcery Blade as a seal. And it's gonna let her do adaptive damage if she's attacking a foe while adjacent to a mage. So Sorcery Blade could be pretty clutch. I actually have to try it out because we only just got it, so I haven't really put it to the test yet myself. Alright, let me see real quick in the chat if anyone knows what her skills are. Alright, Anderson Guerra is saying Drawback and Glimmer. Okay, so Drawback and Glimmer, I guess that's fine. And we got Frederick X in the chat saying, I'm considering making a Kagero with Sorcery Blade, just Omni Sweep. Yeah, Kagero could be a pretty good option with that. Alright, Jonathan Hujon, I believe that's how you say that. Alright, my boy Jonathan is saying Brave Ike with Sorcery Blade. That could be pretty clutch, actually, because Brave Ike likes to be supported by units all the time, so he's definitely going to have some friends close to him. They gotta be mages, though, right? So if you're going to do that, I would say Brave Ike adjacent to Brunnya, because Brunnya is just a really good unit for Aether Raids as well. Alright, but we're getting a little off topic here with the Clarisse build that we're looking at. But yeah, I mean, this looks perfectly fine. Glimmer as the special with Special Spiral is going to be really good. And then she's going to have... and then she's going to have double Savage Blow. I apologize, guys, for my voice just dying once again. Yeah, I think the next unit is probably going to be the last one. I tried to go as far as I could, but your boy needs some real big glass of water right now. Okay, so double Savage Blow, Special Spiral and Glimmer, and Life and Death 4 with the Sorcery Blade seal. I think that's going to work. Now, maybe instead of Sorcery Blade as the seal, you could go for, like, Death Blow 3 or Swift Sparrow 2. And that's going to come into play a little bit more often, I think. Or possibly even just go for Savage Blow 3 in the seal again and just give her triple Savage Blow. I think that could be nice. Or maybe even Poison Strike if you want her to just pile on damage. But I guess maybe not Poison Strike because you want her to be able to finish off the foe she's attacking. So yeah, probably not Poison Strike, but maybe Savage Blow or Death Blow or Swift Sparrow 2. And I think this is pretty cool. Like, Clarisse definitely, she went from being completely useless to getting this refine and now being a contender for sure for that slot for the bow unit. So definitely very interesting stuff there. And this is going to be the final unit we look at today. So this one was posted yesterday. We actually got quite a few of them done. We got pretty far. So all of the people that were waiting from 2 weeks ago, we got to cover them. At least I'm glad about that. So now we're on the recent units now. All right, so TDCSW with a Mercedes over here. Oh, Mercedes is best Blue Lions girl for sure. It's between her and Annette, I think, and I actually like Mercedes a little bit more than Annette. Let me know in the comments, guys, actually, which one of these Blue Lions girls is your favorite. And best girl Mercedes for me, but Annette's another option too. I can't really think off the top of my head who else is a girl from Blue Lions. Oh, Ingrid as well. How can I forget about Ingrid? Ingrid is really cool too. Alright, but yeah, I like Mercedes a lot. Alright, so we got plus speed as the IVs. Witchy Wand plus. Oh, very nice. Awesome that you were able to get that. Blade Session 3. Oh, wow. Blade Session and Witchy Wand. So some really top-level fodder there. All right, Heavenly Light, Wrathful Staff, Odd Res Wave, and then Close Defense 3. Oh, wow. This is a really awesome Mercedes build, actually. Now, Blade Session is going to be really good for these staff units because they are very limited in what A-slot skills they can run. So you're really limited to, like, push skills or the Aether Raid specific skills if you want to go for offense, like Aether Raid's offense that you get from, I believe it was Naga who came with that skill. Or if you wanted to run a defense one, then you would go for probably Mercedes' base kit skill, which is Aether Raid's defense, speed, and res. So those are some other options to get some speed out of your staff units if you want, but Blade Session is definitely a way more high budget and way more efficient skill to go for. Potentially plus 9 attack and speed. That's going to be sick. Alright, Odd Res Wave. I mean, you guys already know. I'm not the biggest fan of the wave skills, but you could probably just go for Joint Drive Attack or Joint Drive Speed, I think, on a staff unit like her. That would be fine. Or if you really want to... Oh, I was going to say go for Panic Smoke, but I don't think she can actually have the smoke skills. Yeah, I think smoke skills are locked out of inheritance from staff units. So, you probably are very limited on what you can run there. I'm pretty sure they can have joint drive skills, though. So, joint drive attack or joint drive speed. Even more so for these staff units is the way to go, because they really just don't have too many other options. And then close defense, so it's harder for the foes to finish her off. And with Witchy Wand, that's definitely going to make it hard for them to do. Oh, if you want to keep close defense, you could also possibly go for close foil, I guess. But, I don't know. That's going to be up to you. I think it's best to just keep her as a player phase option. And close defense, yeah, there's really not too many other options you could go for staff units. So, close defense seems fine. But, maybe if you think you're going to get low on HP, you could go for a Brazen skill. I know for a fact they can have those. So, maybe Brazen attack and speed or... one of those Brazen skills could be a nice skill to go for. Yeah, otherwise, pretty good stuff. Now, Martyr, I think Martyr has the highest healing potential for the assists on these staff units, but Physik is pretty good too for the 2 ranged healing and Restore, of course, to negate any side effects the units may have on them. So, just a couple of other options, but if you want to go for big heals, then Martyr is definitely good. And for the special Heavenly Light, I think that one heals all your allies when you activate that, but... what was I going to say? Yeah, Miracle. Miracle is always good on these staff units, of course. But Heavenly... yeah, if you want to just go for healing, Martyr and Heavenly Light is going to definitely make her a very clutch healer in that regard. So, pretty solid build. Very nice Mercedes, and she's not too hard to get to plus 10, so hopefully... our boy over here can get the merges on her in the future. So that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. My voice is just completely gone, and I am going to have to go get some water right after this. So thanks so much to everyone for stopping by and joining me for the unit reviews today. We are, of course, going to get to the ones that I didn't get to next week when we do the rest of the stream. So, once again, thanks to everyone for stopping by, and as always, this is your boy Tacho signing out. We are, of course, going to be doing a build video for Resplendent Lindy right after this, because Lindy gets her Resplendent alt tonight, so look forward to that. And that's pretty much all there is to say, so I'm going to wrap it up there, and I will catch you guys again on the next video.